Several of the men of the church rush to lift Silas from the depths of his misery, but he refuses all hands and remains where he lay in the center of the road, beyond the reach of solace. The scene is too much for the congregation, too much for Bessie May. She several times breaks the grip of those who attempt to restrain her and throws herself bodily onto the mound of earth where her son lay. Finally, Pastor Jackson, through the urging of young Perkins' grandmother, the widow Hazel, and others, forces her from the scene. Young Perkins lagged behind the group, who escorts Bessie May back to the church there, to be transported in the wagon back to her home. As young Perkins walks, he reflects on how peaceful Jonah seemed, how pleasant the wondrous realm. Could he see them there suffering? Did he still hate Silas? Or did he laugh to see Silas suffering? Young Perkins' heart softens. He bore Silas no ill will. In fact, he was a bit proud of Silas for challenging the conjure woman. Silas, through his pain, found courage enough to challenge the conjure woman to her face, to confront her. He marveled at the way Silas laid before her, demanding she overshadow him. Why didn't she? Why didn't she? Surely she wasn't afraid. Was it that? No, it wasn't that. Old Granny Hagan was showing Silas mercy, a sadistic kind of mercy. She wanted him to suffer. In overshadowing him, she would have ended his life. Through some sort of tragedy, he would die, where now he must suffer the agonizing torment of life. She wanted Silas alive to suffer. She was evil incarnate, clever. Oh, how cunningly clever. Stealing that cane of hers wouldn't be as easy as he thought. After all that occurred that day, where was Mr. Pickman? He wasn't at the baptism, he wasn't at the funeral. Where was he? As the young man approached the church where the congregation is gathered, he sees his friend Kevin approaching. "Kevin," he says with excitement, "did you see?" Before young Perkins can finish his statement, Kevin interrupts. "Your Aunt Bessie May is having fits in there," pointing to the church where cries and shouts echoed from within. "What's wrong with her?" Young Perkins voices his concern. "I don't know," replies Kevin. "It's like she's going crazy or something." Young Perkins grabs Kevin by the shoulders. "Kevin, what happened the day of the baptism? I don't remember anything. I just remember the pastor picking me up. And then what?" Kevin impatiently inquires. "I think I died. I think I went to heaven because I thought I saw Jonah. At least I think I did." "Fool, don't ask me." Kevin angrily snaps back. "I was back there in the church cloakroom getting dressed. I heard shouting and hollering. I thought they were just happy that you got saved. Next thing I know, folks were hollering and shouting. They were raising such a ruckus, such a commotion I never heard. I didn't even get my shoes on good. My little sister came and told me that they found Jonah. She didn't say nothing about you. When I finally did get out there, Jonah was covered up, and most of the grown folks was taking Bessie May away. Doggone it, I didn't get to see nothing else, because my ma made me take my sisters home. Did you ask Aunt Hazel? No. I guess I'll ask her tonight." Young Perkins gazes at Kevin with a look that caused him to lean forward. "Have you seen Mr. Pickman lately?" Kevin tilts his head. A frown comes across his face as he ponders the question. "Mr. Pickman, you say?" "I can't say I did," shaking his head in the negative. "No, matter of fact, not at the baptism or the funeral." "What's today?" young Perkins asks. "Today's Tuesday," Kevin answers. "After they found Jonah that Sunday, Pastor Jackson announced that there wasn't going to be no school on Monday. They had to get Jonah's body ready for burial. No school today, because today is Jonah's funeral day. You know that. But no, now that you ask, no, I ain't seen Mr. Pickman. What you trying to say? Young Perkins then looked deep into Kevin's eyes, into his soul. I don't think that our new teacher, Mr. Pickman, I got a funny feeling that he ain't human. Kevin stares blankly at young Perkins, wondering if his young friend was joking, or if he had simply gone mad. Kevin emitted a little chuckle. Fool you crazy. Tomorrow's Wednesday, everybody's got to go to school then. I'm going to take a closer look at Mr. Pickman. I tell you if I think you're right or not. Well, Will. Kevin's sister, Trina, rushes up to him. Kevin, she shouts with a sense of urgency. Mama wants you to take us home. Dang, he replies by stomping his foot in agitation. Why can't she take y'all back home? You know we too little. Mama don't want us walking down the road this time of evening. It'll be dark by the time we get back. Plus, she got to stay with the elders. They got to comfort Bessie May. They got to help her get herself calm enough to see she gets home. You seen the way she showed out at the funeral. Nobody want us walking these roads by ourselves because of that there conjurer woman. With her hand smartly on her hips, she glances at young Perkins and adds, Oh, by the way, your grandma and Hazel don't think you should be by yourself, so you is to spend the night with us. With that, she gives a little snicker and remarks, You and Kevin got to sleep in the same bed tonight. Trina begins laughing, just like boyfriend and girlfriend. Gathering behind the two young men for the trip home, the girls use the boys for their personal playthings, much to the young men's annoyance. Meanwhile, Kevin delivers angry oaths and commands of, Come on now, quit playing, and the occasional, Hurry up. His anger only acts as a source of amusement. The children laughingly ignore his every command. Young Perkins shakes his head and asks, You mean to tell me we've got to watch them little devils, those hellions? Kevin gives no reply. He merely gives a helpless shrug and proceeds at a brisk pace in the direction of home. All the while, his little sisters continue playing tag, playful shouts of, You're it, and I got you, and no, you didn't, echoed down the road, up the pathway, and into their home. After entering, the young girls' playful antics only increase in scope and magnitude. Trina leaps onto Kevin's back and demands that he give her a piggyback ride. Get off me, as he struggles to remove her simian-like frame from around his back and shoulders. His two other little sisters join in the fun and follow Trina's lead by leaping onto the back of young Perkins, demanding that the two submit to their playful demand. One shouts to the other, Let's have a race, whereupon the girls begin smacking the young man's backside and yelling, Yay-haw, giddy up, all to the cheerful, hysterical laughter of his other sisters who join in the fun. The young girls pile atop the two. Their weight brings young Perkins and Kevin to the floor, all tumbled down laughing hysterically, except for Kevin and his young companion. Kevin rises and rushes into the kitchen, leaving young Perkins beneath the pile of giggling young girls. Opening up the icebox containing previously prepared fried chicken and another bowl with potato salad, he loudly announces to his sisters to come and eat their dinner. With that, the cavalcade of confusion instantly ceases. Youthful ears perk up as the young girls race into the kitchen and begin snatching pieces of chicken from the bowl. Young Perkins, free of his encumbrance, rushes to aid Kevin by placing the plates on the table. He dishes out liberal portions of potato salad, whereupon the young girls begin to heartily consume the food placed before them. The dining is accompanied with snickering, cackles, giggles, and other such girlish banter. Relieved, Kevin takes small handfuls of chicken for the two young men as they sit on the front porch. There, they are free to eat in relative peace. The young men begin to discuss the events of the day. Kevin turns and looks at young Perkins with questioning eyes. He begins to speak, but decides to remain silent. He continues eating. Young Perkins notices Kevin's interest, begins to speak, but before he can voice a single syllable, an explosion of raucous discord erupts from within the home. "Wait here," Kevin orders. Shoving the last piece of chicken in his mouth, he angrily rushes into the home, slamming the door behind. Loud shouts and cries of, "I'm gonna tell Mama, and no you don't," echo forth. Moments later, Kevin bursts from the house, shouting for young Perkins to follow. Whereupon, the young man trails an angry friend. Kevin is absolutely livid, walking at a brisk pace in which young Perkins must trot in order to keep up with him. Kevin informed young Perkins that he is going back to the church to get his mother. He says that his little sisters wouldn't listen to a single word he says. He strongly expressed hopes that each and every one of those little hellions, as young Perkins calls them, would receive a sound and thorough spanking. Young Perkins struggles to keep up with his friend, who continues to emit angry groans and bitter curses, turning his head to the heavens, pleading, "Why me, Lord? Why did Mama have all girls? Why do I have to have so many sisters?"